Man, good morning to everybody. First of all, second of all, I gotta touch down on the way that our society and many individuals are treating animals. Now, I'm not only speaking about the animals that are your pets or your next door neighbor's dog or cat. I'm talking about the way our nation and society treats all animals, including the ones we consume. All right? When it comes to the fur trade, people liking their little mink coats, their fur coats made from foxes. I know a lot of people are unaware, bro. I try to have patience. But if you are aware, right, and you understand that these animals are suffering, they're basically being tortured and kept in terrible conditions and environment. Put it this way. If something was going to insist upon devouring you as a food source, shouldn't you be allowed to live somewhat of your lifespan in a reasonable set of circumstances? Shouldn't you be allowed a bit of fresh air and clean water without violence and suffering, fighting and chaos? Or should they keep you in a volatile prison full of no good individuals and force you to fight for your death and starve you and torture you and abuse you and then consume you? What would you prefer? I know a lot of individuals are like, well, those are just animals. And a lot of individuals also on the internet, man, they see things like, oh man, so-and-so's a goofy or so-and-so's lame or you're soft, whoop, 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 you know what I mean? In the real world, bro, when I come across an animal who's suffering, whether it's a bird, a cat, a dog, it doesn't matter what it is. If I'm able to physically approach it without it running away, because injured animals do try to escape and run away many times, that's what makes it difficult. If I'm able to get to them, I house them in a shoebox temporarily. I transport them to an individual in my city, within my vicinity. She takes care of the animals. She rehabilitates the animals. She has her house set up to do it. She has numerous animals at all times. She's continually setting her entire existence and purpose to rehabilitating animals in need. All right? You can't take them to a hospital and you can't take them to a vet. They'll try to charge you money and they'll refuse to help the animal. Our society doesn't have health care for animals, okay? Again, but I want to get to the priority. A lot of people are like, well, what does this matter? Or especially to the individuals who think it's pathetic or lame for an individual like myself to stand for animals, to care for them, and to intervene if they're being harmed or abused or if they're suffering, man. Now, what I would do to an individual in the real world, bro, if you had a problem with me helping animals, or you don't care for animals, or you disrespect them, you harm them, you insult them, on the internet, people can say anything they want. In the real world, reality prevails. And some of us don't really care about our own comfort or satisfaction so much as we care about stopping creeps and sinister predatory individuals from preying upon kids, animals, so on and so forth. That's what I feel is a priority. You feel me? And without allowing too much anger or frustration out on video, because you can't put your hands on somebody, so there's no point, right? I'm just trying to relate. Some of us, if we see anybody messing with an animal, harming an animal, even mocking an animal during its suffering or agony, or seeing two animals fight, a lot of people, well, that's nature. Hold on a second, bro. If you're in the forest or the wilderness, yeah, that's nature. If you're in a city laden with concrete, we've already eradicated nature to a certain degree. We've already interfered. But many of these violent occurrences and unfortunate happenings and instances regarding animals suffering and fighting and dying, many of them manifest due to human impact in the first place, bro. So if you're in an unnatural aspect of our nation, society, world, homie, nature, much of it's been fully developed by mankind. It is no longer nature. If you're in that portion of society to where it's been meddled with by man, and you see an animal suffering or you see animals fighting, do what you can to intervene. Do what you can to alleviate the suffering. Don't sit there and get off on it like some creep, some maniacal sociopath, bro. Some predator that do other things similar to that to other types of living beings, right? Without going into detail. I try to be patient and lenient, but talk is cheap. And all the individuals, bro, I know y'all hate me, homie. Many individuals hate what I stand for, bro. But you never slide in person, do you, homie? Because you made an example of when you do. If you're feeling cocky and ballsy and invincible, bro, and you see me on the block, and you don't care about animals, you don't care about the environment, you don't care about the planet, homie, you just live for yourself, and you like to see things suffer, and you literally, homie, you stand for evil, homie, you stand for that, bro. You know what I stand for. I stand against you, homie. You got a problem with it, slide, fool. Let's get it in. I'm gonna get some of that angst out of you. You'll be a happier person afterwards. You'll feel more fulfilled afterwards. Real. Just slide. Pull up, bro. Do it. Everybody have a damn good day. You know what time it is? Some people who care about animals and the environment are pushovers, homie. I'm gonna push that hard line, bro. I'm gonna make examples.